Hi, 7th grade. This video will focus on exemplars of student writing from last year. So I've picked two strong examples of argumentative essays. In the past, I focused on both strong and weak examples, but now I want to show you guys strong examples so that you understand what is it that I want. You should only be watching this video if you are done with your Pitbull essay and also the Edpuzzle that I posted last week on analysis of student writing. Again, these are pretty strong. I believe they both got M's. They could be better, right? But this is like a first draft. So the first one, so they're both on why students should be learning a second language in elementary. Why bilingualism or bilingual education is important, right? So they take a stance on that. For these two essays, I gave them the sources, and this was these were the essays that they wrote, and yeah, they come from last year. So I'm not going to focus on the entire essay, but I do want to focus on particularly certain parts, okay? So the first essay goes like this. This is from a current 8th grader. Did you know that in America, only 18% of people are bilingual, but in Europe, 53% of people are bilingual? So the easiest way for me to like your essay is if you give me a statistic, because I love statistics, right? So this is their hook. That is their, let's pick a different color. Let's pick red. This is their hook, right? Your hook should only be one sentence long. And then the rest of this paragraph is going to be the overview and the thesis statements. And I've noticed that the overview seems to be the hardest part for a lot of students because they're like, I don't know what to write about. Well, you need to have a really solid understanding of the sources in order to understand what to write about. So the overview, let's highlight it yellow. People are starting to argue whether schools should be taught, whether schools should be taught a second language. Whether kids in school should be taught a second language. Some schools do teach different languages like French, Spanish, and Chinese. But compared to other countries, America doesn't have a lot of schools teaching language. As of today, only 10 schools in the country require foreign language credits. So here he's talking about the history of and providing context. What is these languages? Who's teaching them? So if you're writing about Cortez, you will talk about where he came from, what did he do before, what did he do, what did he want when he came to the Americas, what was his goal, and so forth. And then he has his thesis statements. Students, so this is where he takes a side, right? This is an opinion. Argumentative essays are opinions that you're going to support with evidence. He said, students should be taught a second language in elementary school. And some of us leave it there, right? But you have to give me the two reasons, because it helps them in the future. That's one, and they could more easily communicate with other people who don't speak English. Helps them in the future. This is a little vague, but let's see how he explains it. He said, so the first one, he's gonna have his first topic sentence, right? The topic sentence is that first sentence in the second paragraph that's going to show you or tell you what the paragraph is going to be about. So firstly, students should be taught a second language in elementary school because it can help them in the future path. So this is his topic sentence. This is what he's going to talk about. And then he has his source. You have to cite a source. Let's see where he has his explanation. So whenever you explain something, you can say this shows, this demonstrates. Those are sentence starters. This shows that students, I'm right here. This shows that students should be taught a second language in elementary school because it helps them in their future. If they knew multiple languages, they could talk to many more people. This will help them in jobs such as medical field. In the medical field, they could talk to more patients because they could talk to them in their patient's language. This could help them do better in their future jobs a lot. So if they learn a second language in school, it helps them in their future plans. Okay. Let's see what their evidence was. It states, knowing a foreign language may help a path of future. So this evidence was not the strongest, I don't think, right? Because it's kind of like restating his thesis statement. But it's doable. Then he's gonna have his second topic. I'm gonna just underline it. Let's pick a different color though. In addition, I'll highlight, I guess. Here he has a transition word in addition. For your first paragraph, you don't say in addition in the first in this paragraph, right? Because you haven't said anything yet. You only have your first paragraph. So you can start by firstly, or just start with your topic sentence. But I like how he has a transition word here. In addition, students should be taught a foreign language in school because they could talk to more people who don't speak English. So the issue I have with this one is very similar to the first one. Okay, the text title, "The Importance of Language Education," it states, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, he tends to, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his own language, that goes to his heart. The evidence is not the strongest, I think, looking in the back. And then we have his count, and he's gonna have his explanation, his counter argument. Let's see what we have as a counter argument. Again, paragraph 4 will be the counter argument. Many people believe that learning a second language younger children may get confused in both languages. He has some grammar issues here. So what he's saying is, so again, the kind of argument you develop, right? You're like thinking about what the other side is gonna say, and then you respond it. So that's his counter argument. That's his kind of argument. And now he's gonna have his concession where you acknowledge the other side. This could be a fair argument since the words could get mixed. Fair, that's fair enough. And then he has his rebuttal. And the rebuttal is going to be really, really important. But it isn't the case because kids still develop their language at the same time. According to source 1, research suggests that monolingual and bilingual children meet major language developments milestones at similar times. So here, this evidence is disproving this. Is disproving that. So you have a counter argument, and then you acknowledge it with a concession, then you have the rebuttal. And the rebuttal includes your evidence that you're going to weaken this. You're trying to weaken this statement, right? You're trying to weaken that statement. The evidence that you have here is not to support your thesis. It's to weaken the counter arguments. And then he has this, he has the explanation of evidence. And then he has his conclusion. In conclusion, students should learn a second language in elementary school because it helps them in the future and they could talk to people who don't speak English. So this is restating his thesis again. Many people argue whether kids should be taught a second language in school. And although some schools do teach foreign language, America is falling behind. So here he puts it all together. Let's go on to student B. In the United States, there are nearly 40 million elementary grade students, of which only a mere 3% are receiving some form of bilingual education. I love this hook. Again, statistics the way to my heart. Language is a communication mechanism that humans use both as individuals and as members of a group to freely express themselves. It is also an expression of culture expressed by speaking or writing. Bilingualism is the ability to speak. So here she's giving us, the girl, she's giving us a definition of what bilingualism is. It's the ability to speak two languages fluently. Cognitive skills are strengthened through bilingualism. Bilinguals are often more creative and flexible, and often find it easier to focus on many different tasks simultaneously. And then she's going to have her thesis statements. Second language education should be added to the local elementary school because young children learn more efficiently and bilingualism will benefit children in the future. So she has two reasons. Kids learn more efficiently and kids will benefit from bilingualism in the future. This one is also the same. Let's go to our first topic sentence. Second language education should be added to the local elementary school because young children learn more efficiently. So I hope you guys are understanding what I want here. So here she has her thesis statements, right? And then she has her topic sentence. The topic sentence for this one is the same thing as her thesis statement, just with the first reason. That kids learn more efficiently. It's this one, and then here. And then she has a source. Source 1 states, children are often more open and curious with a new language, but older learners bring discipline to learning. In the early stages of childhood, a majority of children see learning something new as exciting and mysterious, whereas people who are further down the line may see learning a completely foreign language as a chore, something that they feel they're obligated to do. When that is the case, adults, even teenagers, lose all motivation to continue learning. Where is her evidence? And oh yeah, her evidence is this one right here. And she has an amazing explanation. Okay. Let's go on to her second body paragraph, which is this one. Furthermore, I love this transition word. And now she's going to have her thesis statement again with her second reason. Second language education should be added to the local elementary school because bilingualism will benefit children in the future. You have to have 2 reasons. That's the end of it. And you will have to have 2 topic sentences. One topic sentence is going to be the second paragraph, the first line, the first sentence, and the second topic sentence is going to be in the third paragraph with the second reason. According to source 2, and she has her source, I'm going to skip this for now, an explanation. I'm going to give you guys a copy of this document so you are able to see it. It'll be fine. Some may argue that bilingual homes environment may cause a temporary delay in the onset of both languages. While at first glance this might seem true, I love how she responds to this. While at first this might seem true, for the child may become confused by 2 completely different languages being communicated to them and having no knowledge of either of them. So this is still her counter argument. I mean, this is still the counter argument. It's pretty long, and it's fine. It works because it works. Okay. However, this is simply not the case. So she actually has a counter argument and the rebuttal. I mean, the counter argument and the concession kind of blended in there, and it really works. However, this is not the case. A child can and will understand both languages if spoken enough in them without issue. In source 1, research suggests that so this one is the same evidence as the other student picked out, and let's see how she explained it. This illustrates that in the end, a bilingual environment truly does not affect a child to the point where they are unable to understand the language, even if it is their first. If anything, the brain of a bilingual child should develop quicker or more quickly compared to one of a monolingual means 1 language, bilingual means 2 languages, because of their brain is used to comprehend communication twice as much as every day. If spoken to with different language constantly, the child will eventually grasp. This is beautiful. And then she's going to have her conclusion. In conclusion, the addition of a second language education to the local elementary school will be beneficial. As children learn more efficiently, and a bilingual education will aid children in the future. Having the ability to fluently speak more than 1 language is something that is truly beautiful. No matter, and then I'm going to skip here, no matter your background, nationality, or knowledge, I believe that everyone should learn to speak more language. So this is the wish for the world. So let's review. Paragraph 1. Paragraph 1 has your hook, overview, and your thesis. Your thesis needs 2 reasons. And it answers the question. Okay? Now we're going to go to paragraph 2. I'm going to just skip this. Paragraph 2 will have your topic sentence. Your topic sentence is your thesis with your first reason. Your topic sentence is your thesis with your first reason. That's paragraph 2. It'll have a piece of evidence. And it'll have an explanation of that evidence. Then we have paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 is going to be the same thing as paragraph 2, but you have your second topic sentence with your second evidence, and you have your explanation. Then we on to paragraph 4. Paragraph 4 will have your counterclaim. Some people may argue. It'll have your concession where you say acknowledge that side. That's correct. Some people may say that whatever, that's a fair point. That's understood when you actually acknowledge the other side. And then you have your rebuttal. And your rebuttal needs to have evidence and an explanation of that evidence. And then finally, you're going to have, this is paragraph 4, sorry. And then finally, you're going to have paragraph 5. That's going to be your conclusion, where you have your thesis statement again, your main points, and your wish for the world. What do you want people to get out of this? this essay that you're writing. Your essay is due on Wednesday, so you have today, which is Monday. You have all of Tuesday. It'll be due Wednesday at the end of the day. You will not have social studies on Wednesday, so if you have any time during classes, if you have extra time, ask your teachers if you can work on your essay, because it is due before you come back on Thursday. On Thursday, I'm going to start grading. I will drop your grade if it's later than a day. It's part of your grade because it needs to be turned on time. I'm not going to be chasing students around to finish their essay. I'll be posting the documents in Google Classroom later today, or probably today, so that you can start writing your essay and you submit it if you feel good about it. I do have a checklist that I would like you guys to look at. I will give you guys this as well. Checklist. I have an interesting hook that engages the reader. I've provided context to the topic. My thesis statement is answers a question. So this is all paragraph 1. I have the correct number of pieces of evidence, at least 2. You will actually need 3 pieces of evidence, right? Because there's 1 in paragraph 2, 1 in paragraph 3, and 1 in paragraph 4. So you'll need at least 3 pieces of evidence. So I'll fix this. I have the correct number of sources. You will need at least 2 sources. I've thoroughly explained my evidence. I've cited my sources. So this is all paragraph 2 and 3. I provided a counterclaim that is realistic. I provided a rebuttal to the counterclaim and supported my rebuttal with evidence. This is paragraph 4. I have a concluding statement that restates my claim and summarizes my key points. This is paragraph 5. I've checked and rechecked my punctuation and grammar. So when I say check, you check it once, and then recheck means you check it another time. Like it's imperative. It's really important that you check your grammar, because sometimes that will impact, a lot of times it will impact your grade if you have a lot of misspellings or missing commas or missing periods. I've indented the first sentence of each new paragraph. Let me see if these guys did that. She did, and he did. Okay, so again, when you finish this, you may continue working on your essay, which is due at the end of the day, Wednesday.